Hello and welcome to the final episode of Community Canyon. So, it's finished, all done, everyone's built their area, it's all nice and pretty, and we're going to talk about it. So, today I'm joined with Luke and Evan from our area.
Hiya.
Hello.
Joined with Loakin.
Hello.
Digital Dan.
Hello.
And Silvarret.
Hello, everybody.
Let's go from the very beginning. I reached out to all of you a while ago about this.
Very long time ago.
Good 3 months.
So long.
Yes. What did you think when I reached out? You're like, what's this crazy guy doing?
Yep.
Well, at first I thought it was because it was like a very early planning stages, so I was a bit like, well, I don't know, like who it'd be with.
I mean, the first thing that I can see looking up this map from above is that we made a big mistake. By we, I mean me, Evan, and Luke.
Yes.
Yeah.
With our area being sizably bigger, stupidly bigger, one might say, than everyone else's. So,
I mean, how's that your mistake?
ambition?
I mean, it didn't really... Yeah, fair enough.
Didn't know what our areas were going to be like, so...
No, but I explicitly said don't build as big as we did because it's just not manageable time-wise.
Yeah, it's
Right.
very
Yeah.
time consuming.
Yeah,
It was really tough.
I was going to say, it was stressful enough doing a small area, so...
Exactly. So if we managed to do a small area as well, we probably would have done it a bit more detailed. The people listening might have already heard about our area because there's already a video about it, but I mean, let's just give a brief overview of what there is. Luke, what would you kind of call this theme? I don't even know what we called it.
We didn't really have like a concrete theme. We kind of just went with the flow, to be honest. It very much takes in some of the canyon mining theme. Village town, got the mining districts. I don't know what we would call it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess of themes, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's mishmash.
But I think it all kind of fits together coherently at the end of the day. And one of the main things I wanted to include for our main roller coaster, because all of the areas have, one main roller coaster, was a roller coaster that no one ever uses. And I thought, love my block sections. What can I build that will have 1,200 block sections?
So many block sections.
It's got so many.
I can't remember. There's probably... It can run like 14 trains, so it must have more than that.
14?
it
it
has
can.
so many.
That means it has 15 block breaks, right?
I guess it should do, yeah.
I think it was incorporated quite well into the mountain and stuff. Turned out well.
Yeah, it did. I'm really a fan of the outdoor section, actually. I don't know, it looks, especially from kind of like down here, it looks quite nice.
It was a really nice way to start the park as well, with like the massive mountain and stuff.
Well, we were kind of forced to, weren't we, with this entrance that we were trying to hide.
Oh my god.
Talk about the entrance.
Not gonna lie, it kind of reminds me a bit of Volcano Bay.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, similar vibes.
Like sort of the inside of the volcano at the back.
Yeah. Got a nice new entrance plaza, thanks to Luke and Evan.
This was a very last minute addition. And when I mean last
Yeah, I was
minute,
gonna
I mean
say.
like yesterday I did this.
Probably my favourite bit is the nice underground section that joins the two areas together with interaction between the rapids and the spinning coaster.
Oh yeah, this is like Chapas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like Runaway Mine Train in Congo River Rapids at the
Oh, I
towers.
didn't
what
think
it's
of
like.
that.
That goes into the tunnel.
Yeah, that was the whole point. We definitely wanted something like that. It's just a cool thing, isn't it, when you're on the ride, to be able to wave at people on a different ride.
So, Harry, before you move on, by the way, I think people viewing are gonna be really upset if we don't actually do POVs of the coasters.
Let's go for it then.
I think it'd be pretty cool. I do like how it has a pre-drop here.
Right next to the queue line as well, is it not?
Yeah, between the queue and then the rapids underneath it.
It was from the very start.
This is just an Expedition Everest lift hill.
It is. It literally is. That is exactly it.
True. First block break of many.
Of course.
Oh, it's very, very wingless so far, it feels like.
Are you counting the block breaks as we go?
I've already lost count.
I've already given up.
Dude, I'm doing a shot. I'm doing a shot on everyone. Drinking
You
game.
might die by the end of it.
Lose count.
Yeah, don't try that at home.
So this has been 3, right?
I think it's like 7, 8 now, 9 now.
There was another one, so...
This is too many.
But this is it. The spinning coasters have this many. They're very, very frequent. I might have overdone it a little bit, but...
Just a tad, perhaps, yeah.
This thing gets some serious spinning.
I was gonna say, you don't have the chance to wave to the rapids.
They must have loaded this one, like, unbalanced or something.
The spinning's the same every time, I'm pretty sure, in this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The outdoor section's much more like a normal spinning coaster is.
Yeah, like Sylv said, it's very much like Windjust on the inside.
We always wanted it to have like 2 sections from the start. That was the plan, and then
How long is the duration on that?
we did work out it would be the longest spinning coaster in the world.
Oh,
Almost
God.
3 minutes. Almost 3 minutes.
This is probably the best roller coaster ever built in the game. So let's move over to Loakin's area. What inspired all of this, I guess, is the first question.
Well, the first thing was trying to come up with some sort of theme for the area, and I just thought something I've never done before, which is Icelandic sort of fishing village. In the past, when I've tried to make custom parks, I've been really bad at it because I'm not a good custom builder, so I thought Europa Park has an Iceland area. Why don't we go there and recreate a few of the buildings? So basically all of the buildings are near replicas of Europa Park's Iceland area, but I didn't want to copy it way too much because then that would be a bit stupid. So there's a few different things, but the drop tower in the lighthouse, one of my subscribers came up with that and I really liked that.
It's a very cool
So
idea.
that went straight in. And then Eurofighter, not the Eurofighter, the Infinity Coaster, that was something that basically everyone wanted. I don't think I even saw another suggestion for another coaster. Everyone wanted an Infinity Coaster, so that just went in.
No, it's a really good design as well. I love the way that you've used the launch and the lift hill. I think
It's kind of a mix-up of Smiler and Carajo. You got the vertical lift of Smiler, and then the top hat of Carajo.
yeah, the whole area is really nice. I gotta say, we were looking at this from the path, as you kind of just the main path around the middle, and it's very scenic to look at, that kind of landscape of the lighthouse, bridge, and then just the coaster going around.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to get in. That this is like a dock, and that's the sea, and you're looking at it from like a boat out in the sea.
Isn't there a little Wardley and Sons sign?
All the dates and all the names are Easter eggs for significant theme park dates.
So, by the way, if these buildings are from Europa Park, then what buildings are the station buildings based on?
Station building wasn't really an exact copy of one of them, but a bit of inspiration came from the monorail station in Iceland.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I really didn't recognize it from anything in Europa Park, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look at it like first glance and you know it's a fishing town, so you've nailed it with the theme and stuff.
When we first heard it, we were like, damn, why didn't we think of that?
Pre-show.
Spooky.
Right, so this is definitely just something like Baron's pre-show, really. It's actually something I thought Wickerman would have, the indoor section. And that was a Disco Yeti sort of thing as well.
How fast is this first launch? Like,
I've no idea.
Fast.
fast, yeah. I'll say that.
I feel like it's more Gerstlauer to have a rolling start.
I'm not sure. So that's Carajo's top hat straight off the bat.
Cheeky dive whip.
Yeah.
God,
And
the shaping on this is so good for a Planet
Yeah,
Coaster
that was
coaster.
that dive loop was actually a B&M flawless dive loop.
Really?
One at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, I think. You get attacked by some sort of shark here.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh, there it is. Into Smiler's Lift Hill.
It's still so annoying that you can't do vertical lifts on this game normally.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's... I don't understand. We won't complain too much about the game because we did build this on it. But
How did you get the speed right on the LSMs like that? It's perfect.
If you use the LSM holding brake, it just does it at normal speed, but it holds it at the top for like a second or so.
Ah, that's perfect.
I like this.
Oh, that's
tunnel.
cool.
And this was Nemesis's section, really. And into the final brake run.
There you go. It's beautiful. The scenery is very, very cool.
I have to admit one thing though, is those boats are from the workshop. I didn't have enough time to make my own boats. Oh, nice. Nah.
There you go. Problem solved. All right, let's move over to another area inspired by an already existing area.
yeah, just a bit. So this is... I'll have to get the pronunciation right, I'm sorry if I don't. Klordivaan, as it's called. Don't know what that means.
What language is it?
I think it's German, but
think
it
it's
plays
German.
more
It's
to the
German.
Ruckburger theme.
I'm not. I don't think it's German.
Is it not? I want to search this up. But basically, it's very much inspired by Fly at Phantasialand that's soon coming.
How did you find the name?
Someone suggested the name actually, so thank you to them for suggesting it. Again, that's why I have no idea what it means. But the SNS Axis coaster which is using, I think it's the Infinite track, then putting the Vekoma booster bike track over it just to make it look more like the SNS Axis track.
Wait, there's two tracks
Oh my
here.
god,
Yeah.
I didn't even
Wait,
think
is
about
it?
that.
Daniel
And
mental.
obviously the swinging
why have you done
minecart
this?
train. The original concept for the coaster design, obviously I wasn't the first to ever do an SNS Axis coaster. Props to my mate for like showing me the way to do it and stuff. But I thought I'd give that a go as it's something different, and it works with the steampunk theme. I found it's like machinery and stuff. So
Definitely.
Yeah, really good match.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
It reminds me a lot of how with like Super Nintendo World, how like once you're in the area, like you're fully immersed. Gives me very like similar looks to that, similar vibes.
yeah, if you go to like the front entrance outside, like the little hill kind of area, I wanted to make it a lot like, again, Brookberg, where you can't see it from the outside too much, so that when you'd walk in, obviously it's not open yet, but when you'd walk in, it'd just be this massive reveal of the entire steampunk area.
So is this actually using LSMs as a lift hill as well?
Yeah, it does get stuck at the top because of block sections, and it's so bad throughput, but you know.
Terrible.
But how did you get the tracks lined up exactly? Just copy every single move exactly the way you did before?
I don't know, to be honest. I just went over it and then like I tried to make it as exact as possible, and then just smoothed it out, and somehow most parts lined up. If you look at certain parts of the ride, it does kind of go outwards when it shouldn't do. It's getting the physics of the car to the track right is very difficult. I want a lot of near-miss elements as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's like the theming is very inspired by Rockburg, of course, but it feels like the coasters and the way they interact is very Klugheim.
Yeah, I kind of got inspiration from obviously like Racc goes around Taran a little bit, but not too much. It kind of interacts with it, but yeah, it was kind of inspired from them two areas. So
Right.
The way you use the double track to make it look like a powered coaster is really cool.
Very clever.
Yeah.
someone, I won't take credit for that because someone did that. They made like a flying fish recreation, did the exact same thing. So we can't. I just kind of just nabbed that off that. But yeah,
Yeah, I
still.
might have to steal this idea for Mine Train.
So then it's on to another ride that's a bit of a prototype, I guess.
So this is my little area, and I think I spent about half the time that I had just figuring out what I wanted to build, because I had no idea what kind of coaster I wanted to go for. Eventually, I got the idea to do something like Vertigo in Walibi, Belgium, the famous Doppelmayr cable car roller coaster that only was for a year and was a massive failure. But because we don't have that in the game, I figured, what if you kind of take the idea and upscale it a bit and use the in-game suspended coaster instead? And this is the result.
I gotta say, it's crazy to look at.
The support work on this
Yeah,
thing is
Well-
mental.
I thought it was actually amazing when I first loaded it up.
Yeah, the custom
Yeah.
support.
Just the way you've got this arc as well,
It
you
looks
know,
so cool.
and it looks very like real, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Did you find it harder going last in the project? Would you like prefer to go first, or did you kind of get inspiration?
I mean, I found it very hard, so hard that eventually it took me a week longer to finish this. Mostly because of very poor planning, because I just happened to be in Paris for the week that I had the file. But other than that, I'm just very glad that everybody else stayed on schedule, because I kind of overran it. But I'm pretty happy to be lost, honestly, because this was also partly inspired by everything that came before. And especially the idea to create the Axis coaster of SNS, which gave me the idea to try something, very prototypical and very different as well.
What's the kind of aesthetic of the building inspired by?
So in this case, I sort of looked up some mines in Belgium. The specific style of architecture is probably Flemish Renaissance, which is kind of Belgian architecture from the early 1900s, and you can find it in some old mines. And so generally the ride kind of has a very generic industrial look to it. A little bit inspired also by Baron 1898 in the Efteling.
Almost looks like a train station on the inside.
I only realized after I placed the supports for the lift hill that they are slightly messed up, because they're ever so slightly rotated. But
Yeah.
looking at it now, I kind of almost like it.
It gives it that industrial kind
Bit
of
jank.
feel.
Yeah. Still a little bit of jank.
Very slow lift hill.
So one thing that I really like about this layout is it's basically just helixes and a few straight sections for the sort of arched valleys. But with the transitions between all the helixes, you just get these crazy moments where you swing from side to side. And with suspended coasters, it's always kind of a challenge to get the swinging right. To make sure that it swings smoothly from one curve into the next. But with the shape of these helixes, it just kind of naturally does that anyway. So that turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, no, the swinging spot on.
It goes over the pathways and stuff as well, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. You get this sort of like low, close to the ground interaction with the pathways at the end as well. And that's it.
Again, a very aesthetically pleasing roller coaster to look at, honestly.
I actually love the curves on it though.
I know.
So good.
I love the fountains in the middle though, I have to say.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really know what to do with this area, so I figured, just gonna put some fountains and hedges in there.
Does it have a name?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Forgot something.
what's the name?
Go on then.
I really couldn't come up with anything. I don't even remember what I called the video. I think I called it the Cableway coaster because supposedly it's kind of themed after. So mines always, well, not always, but sometimes mines have these cableways that they use to hoist their materials from one place to the other, kind of like a ski lift. And it's basically inspired like that. It's taking the idea of what would it be like to ride one of those cableways. So yeah,
There you go. Call it
Something
Cableway. Or the Cableway.
yeah. I mean, I think Cableway coaster would be kind of cool, but then having coaster in the name of a roller coaster also kind of maybe Cableway the ride would just work.
Oh, but is that any better?
No.
Is adding the ride any better than adding coaster at the end?
Everybody knows you can just add the ride at the end of your ride, and then it just works as a name every time.
I mean, you say that, I'm fairly certain that the roller coaster at Wixie Park is called Pinfari Roller Coaster. It's literally
I think
that
it
name.
is.
What a name.
I guess that's it. That's the entire area. And we'll make sure that you can download this map using a link in the description below.
You can build something else in the areas that aren't covered.
Which is exactly what we did. We cleared out some of the areas so that you can expand this part yourself.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like two distinct areas on the map where you can add. So, feel free to download the map, build on it yourself, and then tweet using the hashtag CommunityCanyon what you've built, and we'd love to see it. Any final words, guys?
Thanks for having us on the project. It's been fun.
Thanks for joining.
It was a nice break from my usual projects, it was, so yeah, thanks a lot.
No problem.
And same for me. I actually kind of forgot about Planet Coaster's existence, so thanks for bringing me in.
Does everyone agree that kind of the hardest challenge with this park has been the time we've given everyone?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
yes.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
The stress levels.
Has that challenged you maybe?
I've quit Planet Coaster now, so that's fun.
There you go. We've deterred Dan from the
Drove
game.
him insane.
Oh no, it wasn't because of this, of course. This was a fun project, of course, but I'm very burnt out on the game, so.
Oh yeah, that sometimes.
So thank you to all of these guys for helping us build this map, and thank you for watching. If you do want to watch the entire process, the videos on every single person's channel, we'll have a playlist also linked below, so you can follow all of the build, as it went on. Other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well done. We did it.
Good luck with editing. That'll be quite a challenge.
Thanks, boss.
I'm not your boss.